We'll now call the October 22nd, 2019 regular meeting of council to order. First off, under item 2.1, motion please to adopt this evening's agenda. Councillor G, Councillor Blanchette. Any additions? Hearing none, all in favor of adoption? Carries. Item 3.1, public comments. I just have a bit of some rules to go over before we head into public comment. Questions will be regarding an item on the current agenda. They'll be put forth on topics that are not normally dealt with by village staff. They shall be addressed through myself. Individual members of council or staff may not get into debate during this time. No commitments shall be made by council in replying to a question. Matters which may require action shall be tabled to a future meeting of this council. Most importantly, bylaws and temporary use permits that have been considered at a public hearing but have not yet received final approval shall not be raised during this time. Individuals must state their name and area of residence for identification purposes and be limited to 2 minutes. Are there any public comments this evening? Moving on. Item 4.1, adoption of the minutes of the previous regular meeting of council. Councillors Blanchette, Councillor Pearson. Any errors or omissions from that? Hearing none, all in favor? Carries. And item 4.2, adoption of the minutes of the previous public hearing held on October 8. Councillor Pearson, Councillor MacLean, any errors or omissions from those minutes? Hearing none, all in favor? Carries. We have a delegation this evening under item 5.1. President Birkbeck is here from the Royal Canadian Legion. Welcome.
Good evening. Thank you, Your Worship, and councillors and staff. I'm here to, Murray Birkbeck, 1433 6th Avenue. I'm here tonight on behalf of the Royal Canadian Legion, and as President of the Legion, it is my honor to present you with the first poppies of our annual poppy campaign. My assistant here, Christine, is our Vice President, and so if we could call you up to the front, we will try not to poke you. Yeah, you get to come too. Oh, goody, goody.
I'll hold them and you can pin them.
Oh, I'm not pinning.
I'll hold them and you can pin them.
So, Your Worship, I'm going to let you pin your own one. And we should, okay, we'll go this way. We'll do the ladies first. Thank you.
Carleena.
Donnie.
Thank you.
Mr. Pearson. There you go, sir. Yeah, and just for your information, the annual poppy campaign starts officially on Friday. The poppy boxes will be out after Friday until November 11th.
Thank you very much.
You're very, very welcome. Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Mr. President.
You're so welcome. Thank you.
Right on. Thank you very much. More than we tried. Thanks, Donnie. Motion please to receive the delegation. Councillor Pearson, Councillor MacLean, are there any questions of the delegation? Thank you very much, Madam President. That's very nice of you to come down and give us the first handout of the poppies. Thank you very much.
You're very, very welcome.
All in favor of receipt? Carries. Item 7.1, we have an action item. The Royal Canadian Legion is requesting to waive fees in use of the village tent. What is council's wish?
Your Worship,
Councillor Pearson,
I will be recusing myself from this discussion
for...
as executive on the Legion.
Thank you very much. Aye.
I will also be recusing myself from this discussion as an executive of the Legion.
Just us quorum then.
Yes.
Will all Legion members please leave the room? I'm not supposed to say that.
What's council's wish? Councillor Blunt, you move? Seconder? Discussion. All in favor of waiving fees? And I believe also that Public Works to some staff time on Saturday morning, or on November 11th. All in favor? Carries. For the recused councillors, we have decided to waive fees. 7.2, Clean Air Task Force is bringing a plethora of recommendations to council this evening. Want separate motions? There are a list of recommendations, so we'll start off. Number 1, that staff be directed to develop a survey to gather information regarding residential heating practices in the village of Elmont. Councillor Pearson, Councillor Blanchette, discussion on recommendation 1.
I believe we're getting staff to be able to have it ready for next Tuesday, is that correct? No?
It's unlikely.
Okay.
Look forward, it'll be in print and electronic.
Yes.
Very good. All in favor of that recommendation? Carries. Number 2, that staff be directed to draft a clean air bylaw. Councillor G, Councillor MacLean, discussion. All in favor? Carries. Number 3, that council commits to a 5-year budget for clean air initiatives, wood stove exchange program, that the community forest be asked to do the same. Be looking for a dollar figure in this motion, please.
I believe we said 5,000, but I may be mistaken, is that correct? Okay.
So 5,000
So 5,000
for 5 years
us
for
and
25,000.
5,000 for the community forests.
Seconder? Councillor MacLean? Discussion. Yes.
Just for those who weren't at the meeting, we discussed this, and if it becomes a budget item, then it's something that we're cognizant about and that we plan for. We all agree that we need to do something, so behind that is going to have to be some dollars. So that's why the discussion went that way.
Thank you. Further discussion? All in favor? Carries. And a 4th recommendation here, that staff be directed to research low-interest loans for residents wishing to upgrade or replace their wood stoves. Councillor Blanchette, Councillor Pearson, discussion.
So again, for those who weren't at the meeting, we're just looking at different avenues. We're not saying that we're going to put this into place for sure. We just want to find out what options everybody has.
I'll be interested to see how the province takes the UBCM resolution put forward by Port Moody and the PACE financing. Further discussion? All in favor? That carries. Thank you. We have a request under 7.3 from the regional district, Fraser Fort George, looking for representation on community consultation committee appointments. Recommendation 1, that a member of council be appointed to Canoe Valley Recreation Center Community Consultation Committee. That's a big one. For a 1-year term effective November 28th. And Councillor, are you willing to sit again?
I'm not on that one.
Weren't you? Or you were on the fire department. Thank you. Councillor Pearson?
Yeah, I would be willing to sit on that committee again. Yeah.
Seconder? Councillor Blanchette? All in favor of Councillor Pearson? Carries. And second recommendation here that a member of council be appointed to the Valemount District Fire and Rescue Community Consultation Committee for a 1-year term.
Yeah, I'd be glad to continue.
Councillor Blanchette moves, seconder, Councillor Pearson. Discussion. All in favor? Carries. Is there anything in the reading file anyone would like to highlight? Okay. Item 9.1, NDIT Community Planning for Housing Program. We have a recommendation here that staff be directed to send a letter to RDFFG and the Village of McBride proposing to share costs for the NDIT Community Planning Housing Program. It's Council's wish. Councillor Blanchette, you'll move that. Seconder, Councillor Pearson. Discussion.
So just, there's funding for all of us to share somebody that can go around and they can communicate with the stakeholders, they can do the paperwork, they can look for grants, somebody that will work for all of us in the Robson Valley NMPG. That would be a shared position.
Yeah. I like it. Further discussion? All in favor? Carries. Under 9.2, we're looking at a proposed, or will be in the future, looking at a proposed covenant and that for the Valemount Affordable Rental Society and for this meeting that the report be received. Councillor G, Councillor MacLean, discussion. It's one of the small ways municipalities can contribute to our housing. All in favor of receipt? Carried. 9.3, Gas Tax Community Works Funding Program. Motion please that the report be received. Councillor Pearson, Councillor G, discussion on the old gas tax. All in favor of receipt? Carries. 9.4, we have a development variance permit. We looking for a motion surrounding development variance permit 19-02 for Lot 2 District, Lot 7355, Caribou District Plan, EPP 51321, proposing to vary the Village of Elmont zoning bylaw number 610, 2007, section 14.4.2, accessory uses and accessory buildings be given initial approval. Councillor Blanchette, Councillor Pearson, discussion.
It's just nice to see a business growing. It's nice.
Further discussion? All in favor? Carries. We have another proposed development variance permit under 9.5. Motion please that development variance permit 19-03 for Lot B, District Lot 7354, Caribou District Plan, BCP 37687, proposing to vary Village of Valemount zoning bylaw 610-2007, section 6.3.8, maximum height of accessory building be given initial approval. Councillor Pearson, Councillor G, discussion. All in favor? Carries. Under 9.6, we have a report from staff surrounding the Trans Mountain Emergency Response Exercise. Motion please to receive. Councillor Pearson, Councillor MacLean, or sorry, Blanchette. Discussion. Councillor Blanchette.
I'd just like to thank Suzanne and Tracy for attending. I'm sure they got a lot out of it, and I'm sure that they contributed quite a lot because Suzanne's been involved in this for a long time, and she's got a lot of value there.
Absolutely. Yeah, I was, if you recall, Councillor, I went to Blue River as an observer for the last, or the one that involved local government, and it was full on. It was good to see. All in favor of receipt? Carries. Under item 10.1, bylaws and policies, looking for first and second reading for the Village of Valemount Reserve Bylaw number 804/2019. Councillor Blanchette, Councillor Pearson, discussion on 804/2019. All in favor? Carries. 10.2, looking for third reading surrounding Village of Elmont Council Remuneration Bylaw 811-2019.
I'll move to the floor.
Councillor Blanchette, Councillor G. Discussion. Councillor Blanchette.
So I just have a small issue with this one. So I asked our Director of Finance to send me the consumer price index, and it varies. Like it can go from 0.4 to 2.7. So first of all, how are we going to budget for that if, you know, we can't have a specific number? And I mean, I know that we're not in this to make money, because we're not, but if we were to give staff a 0.4 raise, we'd have anarchy, you know? So I would like to move that we keep it at 2%. I don't know how to go about doing that, but that's my speech.
So there's a motion on the floor that was surrounding third reading, and you would like to change it to 2% or keep with the consumer index?
I would like to keep it at the regular 2%, the COLA raise that we used to call it.
Direction.
We can, yeah, if council chooses to do that, yes, we can take it back and we can change the bylaw, and we'll have to go through some readings again.
So we'll have to go through first and second reading again?
No, we
should
shouldn't
change it at third.
I believe we can change, well, we haven't gotten third yet, so we can change it at second.
Okay. Councillor Pearson?
I'm just wondering, are we
on the motion?
original motion or change in wording?
We can, let's go with that.
My question is we can we change the wording that it's the 2 or better, so that we're at our base rate, or if COLA is at 2.4, is that an option?
Councillor?
But then we still can't budget because it's going to change, right?
Should we bring the Director of Finance in to help answer that budget question?
Sorry, which was the question?
I think the roundabout question is how would your department budget for a changing increase versus a stagnant increase?
If it's above the 2% average, then we can bring it back on a yearly basis, and it's approved prior to the budget for the following year.
At the 2%.
If it's more, if the consumer index is more, then we can bring it back forward in November, December, for budgetary reasons.
Does that help?
Yeah, sort of.
All right. So we have a motion on the floor for third reading with changes to 2%. Is that, no, we do not?
Not quite. We'll have to word that. So the motion that I'm getting is that staff takes back the bylaw and makes a change for it to reflect a 2% increase per year, and then bring the bylaw back to council for approval.
So that's the motion that I made.
Fair?
No,
So
we'll wait.
we have to vote on the amendment. So discussion on the amendment. All in favor of the amendment?
I'm lost. Are we,
So
the 2%
the original motion is at third reading
yeah,
without any amendments.
So
there was amendments offered,
okay.
and now we have to vote on the amendment and then go back to the original.
the best thing to do is just defeat the motion and then redo a new motion.
We can do that too.
Yeah.
All in favor of the original motion?
Opposed.
Are there anyone opposed, sorry,
To the original motion.
to the original motion?
Yeah.
Would you like your opposition on record? Everybody gets on the record.
Okay, it's unanimous.
So, let's entertain another motion. Would staff like to reiterate that motion?
Yes. that staff amend the council remuneration bylaw number 811/2019 to reflect a 2% annual increase.
Okay. And I should also mention that that original motion is defeated, for the record. Councillor, would you like to move that motion by presented? Is there a seconder? Councillor MacLean. Discussion on the new motion. Here we go to budget. All in favor? Carries. 10.3, Village of Elmont Travel Allowance Policy number 38. Staff are looking for support in this amended travel allowance policy, and that be adopted as presented. What's council's wish? Councillor Blanchette? It's moved, seconded by Councillor G. Discussion. All in favor? Carries. Council report under 11.1. Councillor G, what did you get up to?
I attended on October 10th the Columbia River Treaty meeting at the community hall. I was pretty impressed. I just want to thank Councillor MacLean for all of her hard work and multiple hours put in getting us to where we are with that treaty, and that's about it.
Thank you very much. Councillor Pearson?
Actually, all I had in the last 2 weeks, on Thursday the 15th, a Historic Society meeting. So all that was on my agenda this week.
Thank you very much. Councillor MacLean?
I had two events, and both of them were on October the 10th. One was the Clean Air Task Force meeting, and the next one was, of course, the Columbia River Treaty Negotiations Community Meeting. The meeting was part of a basin-wide series of meetings to seek public input and update Columbia Basin communities about the current Columbia River Treaty negotiations. As well, the draft recommendations of the Local Governments Committee were presented.
Thank you very much. Councillor Blanchette?
I had a nice light time, and I had October 10th was our first official Clean Air Task Force meeting. There was a lot of good discussion, a lot of what could we do, what should we do, how can we make this work, how is everything going to come into play. Staff were able to get a hold of a few no idle signs, so they've been put up, and you saw the list of recommendations, so we're making headway thanks to staff's help, so thank you very much to staff.
Thank you to yourself and Councillor MacLean for that, for really spearheading that committee. It's awesome. That's it, that's all. 2 weeks.
A nice light week.
Right on.
12,000 emails, but.
Indeed. I attended the trash talk put on by the Regional District Fraser Fort George on the 9th, and joined Councillor G and MacLean at the CRT update on the 10th. Regional District meetings on the 17th. Oh, pardon me. I met with some forestry students from Natural Resource Department at CNC. They were in town for field trips. So I met with them on the 16th. A lot of talk around geothermal and the reservoir itself. So they had some BC Hydro presentations that we were able to digest together. It's good. RD meetings on the 17th. And I had a conference call with NCLGA President Beckett and First Vice President Sarah Story today. And that's it. Motion please to receive council reports. Councillor Pearson, Councillor Blanchette, discussion. All in favor of receipt? Carries. Motion to adjourn. Councillor Pearson. We are adjourned.